2,000 light years away. Look out as far as I can. I can't see her, but in the distance I used to let her. We like together, but that drives my eyes and dream about her. Cause she's 2,000 light years away. She opened my leg like so tight, so never let go. Cause she's 2,000 light years away. It's all away.
What up, DT? No one even saw the YouTube saw. That's right, good equipment. Ahoo-yah! Yes, it was. It was the chancla. What she don't know. And you know what? I'm going to take it off right now, the music, because I don't want to get zapped. And we know how they can zap us on the good OFB. And as I stated today, we're going punk rock. And, you know, if you follow the show, followed me, I'm not always on because I'm doing big boy things, you know? Sometimes we're just hanging out and smiling and living the dream. But tonight I wore my Exploited shirt, which is one of my favorite all-time punk bands with Waddy. I've talked to the guy numerous times, met with the guy. But something else, as you know, as I always do, I'm a big-time music lover, and I just picked up some new records. I had to pick up this is a repress of the second Green Day album, Kerplunk. Green Day, one of my favorite bands, got into them in my senior year in high school back in 88, 89. And they did a lot for me. I was really into hardcore and punk, but their poppiness or catchiness wasn't your typical type of band that I was into. And I got into them. And also what comes in this repress, which I'm very happy, it comes their infamous 7-inch record, which is phenomenal. And they do a great version of The Who, My Generation. So it's actually a bonus. And I actually try to let my daughter know that I'd actually give her this album with the 7-inch for her original. But being like she's like her dad, hell no, Dad, I'm keeping the OG. So I got that remake. Another one, I've really been digging this band's their newest album, The Elevators, reggae band, reggae mix. They're going to be playing with Slightly Stupid, which I'll be catching them pretty soon. Elevators, if you like that good reggae stuff, check them out. Another great old school band, Corrosion of Conformity. Some of you may know the newer version where they're more grunge core, kind of like Helmet, kind of slow, grindy, like metal. Well, I first got into them when they were more hardcore punk in the mid-'80s, late 80s, when I was like 13, 14, and Corrosion of Conformity, or we know them as the acronym COC. Corrosion of Conformity. Another one I just got because there's a lot of fun songs. They're kind of up and down as a band, but what the heck? The Offspring, greatest hits. One of my favorite songs touches me. It's a heartfelt song. Is I have to say is All I Want. No, not All I Want. It's you don't even know. Want You Bad. I really like that song, I Want You Bad. And then another great kickback album I had to get, Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies, which is an acoustic album. But it sucks. It doesn't actually have the rooster on it. So that kind of bites, if you want my opinion. But I do want to say thanks for coming on. I don't come on as often as I like I said, living the dream, being as busy as I have been and stuff. Sometimes I don't have that great time, but I really enjoy meeting people. Last weekend I was out in Las Vegas playing in the 40 Major Plus, and made new friends, some old friends, people that I actually interacted on a physical level, person to person, and that's something I enjoy doing. And believe it or not, so however some of you may think, my good buddy JBI, Sammy, all of us, man, the Slovakian slasher. We had a great time out there at Sunset Park in Vegas. We had the trailer, good community, just good softball chatting, just kind of like a tailgating atmosphere, which is what I always liked about the 3-day events in senior softball. And next coming will be the one out in Reno, the Rock in Reno. And if you're a senior softball team and you are a player and you're yet to do the Rock in Reno by far is one of my favorite tournaments all time. And I understand, the senior softball, and I've explained this many times, but back in the day, it was primarily the senior format there wasn't a lot of senior tournaments then. So what they would do is to get guys to get their games in and stuff. You'd go 5 games because, you got the 2 practice games and you go in the bracket. Well, now you have almost an option to play every weekend. So some of the young bucks who unfortunately can't take Fridays off of work are trying to change the schedule. What's up, Gunner? I hope they don't change the schedule. I like what it is. It's kind of like playing the conference. You think the conference is going to change for you? Are you going to tell them? No. So when you get these new 40 guys and say, can you change the format? Why do we have to play on Fridays? It's funny. You hear nobody make a and, if, or but about the conference, because sometimes they'll do the doubles, play Thursday, play Friday, or you got to fly out on Thursday to leave on Friday to play on Friday. They all want to change. I don't want to change. My compa Dean out there from SoCal, JK, OG Johnny Blaze guy, don't want it to change because it's a community. And I love seeing my gente on a Friday. Las Vegas, you walk in, you get your games done. And we started watching the 50s. I'm talking to my buddies, guys I haven't seen. You're doing your safety meetings. You're doing whatever you want to call it and just enjoying yourself. And that's what I always enjoyed about the senior softball because it keeps bringing out all the diehard guys. They keep coming back. And the guys that just, you love the game, they're there. So Rock in Reno, great one. Another shout out that I do want to give out is up and coming in November 4th, 5th, and 6th. WSL. Yes, WSL will be hosting a senior world event where they'll be giving rings, bats, the whole 9 yards, depending on teams. And if you play WSL in October, then you know what you're going to expect for senior softball. Right on the spot, boom, they're going to give you your rings. Talking to my man Paul Sandler out with Dee Marini and helping out with the WSL program, I shared with him that Reno would be primarily the best place. They got 5 fields, the center area. They got concessions. They got a bar area. The environment's great. And myself, every time I've always played outfield out in Reno, I've always enjoyed the tailgaters out there talking to me and saying, hey, 3, next time you come on down here, we'll get you hooked up with the beer. And I'll be all no doubt. Because Reno, out in towards the end of May, you're looking at a high 90s, maybe sometimes 100-degree weather. But the softball community in these senior softball events, I'm jealous about what they got out there in Texas with all these senior events and so many teams. But one thing I'm going to tell you, Texas, that you guys would probably be jealous about is if you're coming down ever to the Vegas, which we just had last weekend, the Rock in Reno, the 3-day events, or even come on down for the state event or the national event. I'm telling you, I love that atmosphere. The community out here for senior softball is awesome. So I may have a guest out today. And before I actually, say who my guest is going to be, he's doing some big things. And there's been numerous times that I've tried to get Homeboy on here. And something I might have to do is I might have to take myself off Wi-Fi because I know that my when it comes to me having somebody come on, when I take the Wi-Fi out, it just makes life easier. Something with my Wi-Fi and getting people to come and talk, it's just tough. But you know what? As my cousin here says, I love it, man. Look at that. Nobody smiles harder than a Latino who has no clue what you said. You know what I mean? And what is that kind of saying? As I've said before, I don't know, eh? I don't know. And, the thing is, I'm 100% Mexicano and stuff, man. And I love those little things, And that kind of goes back with my bat and stuff, trying to keep the the culture blessed of being a person of color, as there isn't as many people out there that are people of color that actually have, to be represented and to have more out there. And I would love, off the top of my head, I know Ellie from Johnny Blazes had his own bat. I know Pilar's had his own bat. Those are the two right now off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a couple more. Luis Reina, which is kind of in that same genre and stuff. But, being so blessed. What's up, Tomas? What's up, DT? I'm going to be making shirts because a lot of you guys, putting it up there, everybody wants to come to California and we'll do what? Hit the Chronic. Everybody wants the Chronic, dude. And this Chronic bag, take yourself pre-orders right now, $179.99. And I'm telling you, all these pre-orders, jump on them right now because when we get them physically like I have it now, you ain't going to be getting it that cheap. So do your pre-orders because these suckers are going to be coming in about a month and you're going to love the bat. If not, you're going to love the graphics. Also with the little Mexican. And if you haven't seen some of the YouTube videos, which I'll show a little later, and my new graphics, and this isn't quite the finished product. We're going to be putting a red end cap. Obviously, if you haven't noticed, I'm going back to my original number, going full circle, and I'm going to number 5. Yes, I'm going to be making Chronic gear, brother. And you're going to be part of that Chronic because you're part of the crew. DT, it's going to be a California Bat Chronic crew. It's going to have that logo somewhat in the front. I got to get your number, going to get your little either signature or your little initials. And all my boys, all my California rockers, you guys know how we do it. We're going to make a shirt and we're going to be all about taking our swings and taking hits off the Chronic. My bat real quick. So you see this part right here, you're just going to change. What's green around here is going to go to red and what's red is going to go to green. As I said, I went to number 5 and I went to number 5 because that was the first number I ever had. So doing a full circle, being at my halfway point in this thing we call life at 50 years old, I decided to do a full circle. I'm not sure if the end knob here is going to be green or red because ideally I want it red. You have this color, green tape, and then red end knob. But what do you guys think? This definitely is going to be red, but what do you think? Should the end be green and leave this black handle or go with the green handle with the red? Yeah, we love that Chronic, JT, man. I hope maybe I'll be out in Oklahoma. Who knows? After the old guy played out there in Las Vegas, I felt really well, and I really enjoy the props I got for doing that. And part of when I play, I take pride in how I play and how I perform out there, and that's why I hit BP. BP is also to stay in shape, and part of doing well in this game, you gotta stay in shape, man. You gotta be able to compete, and being at my age, I know more so along the lines that I have to. Keep myself in shape because, sometimes, I'm going to be honest and I hope and no way, this is just how I observe it because I always feel somewhat like the underdog. Okay. Well, you know what, guys, hold on because I may have a good buddy of mine come on. And before I do that, what I need to do is I'm going to need to change my, my internet connection, man. So you probably can still see me here. Oh, I better not do it. We're stuck. I forgot what I was going to say. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys a play. And I've done this plays for years. And some people have got mad at me. I always try to think the game to find wins and find W's and stuff. What's up, Starla? We missed you last weekend with some BP out there. But, when you're trying to beat big teams and stuff, you always try to exploit a weakness or find something you do to find W's. It's not always a separation with talent. Like some people think you need to build a conference team in 40s to win the major worlds or the major plus worlds. And as we've seen the last couple of years, sometimes a lot of the teams with the most talent. Proton had a team that was a full-on conference roster and they didn't win it. Last week in Proton had way more major type conference players and they got double dipped and they could have been beaten a third time with the first time with Johnny Blaze, which I'm going to talk about that a little later. But you're always finding ways to win, always trying to find ways to get beyond. But a play that I want to show you that I remember pulling in, I pulled it in league, I pulled it in tournaments, in men's tournament. I think the first time I pulled this job was back in it was before I was actually 40. And I remember, I'm going to say we were playing the LNS. Actually, it's towards the end, I was playing when I was with that BPS team that were kind of playing the BC local NorCal tournaments. And we were playing LNS in Manteca. And I won't say the guy who did it, but he hit a ball where I caused a double play. I'm not going to say the name, but I am going to show you the play right here. Tell me what you think about this play. And is this place good to go or is it dirty? And be honest, because a lot of times, coming out here and throwing yourself out there, sometimes people are like, I can't be honest. I don't know, man. Just do what I say. Say, I don't know, eh? So check this play out and you tell me if it's a dirty or is it a great play. You guys will probably say it's a great play because I didn't do it.
It's going to be at the base of the grassy.
So here you go. Check it out.
Delivers.
See if you can catch it.
Try following suit. That ball is deep and at the base of the grassy knoll again.
Oh, thing went back. Hold on, my bad. So check this play out. That wasn't the play. So this is off of last weekend. This play was pulled, and that's what I love about it. Obviously, we got to get commercials.
Total gives you 24-hour antibacterial.
So once again,
so you can help stop problems.
Once again, you tell me, is this a dirty play or not?
Nice piece by Tommy Melton through the 5-6.
All right, hold on. Check this out.
Mooch on the first base side.
Check it out. See if you pick it up. Pop up.
Elevates that one into nobody running, so we're going to get a double play ball. There's one. There's two.
So did you catch that? Did you catch that? If you didn't catch it, I'm going to show it again from a distance, okay? So basically what you have is a runner on first base, obviously less than 2 outs, and the hitter hits the ball straight up in the infield. What you're not maybe hearing or something that he thought it's a can of corn, it's an easy catch in the infield. I'm not going to run to first base. So obviously with this ball hit, there's going to be a catch. So with the quick thinking, I believe it was Bama, NorCal guy, and you better not say you stole it from me, Bama. He didn't touch the ball. He let the ball hit straight down. And the great thing on turf, once it goes straight down, it pops straight up, okay? So the hitter doesn't run. You're going to see the swing. You're going to see the pop-up. And then you're going to see them let it drop. Easy double play. Tell me once again, what do you think about it? So I'm going to give you a different angle of it all. And check it out.
Piece by Tommy Melton through the 5-6.
So here it is. Here's the hitter.
Mooch on the first base side.
Pops it up.
Pink elevates that one into nobody running, so we're going to get a double play ball. There's one. There's two. So can't tell who that is.
So, what are your views on it? Come on the show right now. Tell me some defensive stuff. Let me tell you what I do. Me, I love it. What's between the years? When you start playing the game, getting faster, you start playing upper level stuff, you got to find out. And a lot of times, guys, when they transition, you can't play lazy. I had a conversation today about that. And I said, big separation, you can't play lazy. Outfielders aren't lazy. The upper tier players, the better teams, they're not lazy. There's a lot more hustle. There's a lot more, sense of urgency to do well or to make a play, okay? I love that play. And to me, I've had people argue with me, and I go, why are you getting mad at me? You should be getting mad at your player. I mean, on average softball game, let's say major plus, depending where you're bat, you're getting 4 to 5 at bats. The bases are 70 feet. So if you cannot go 70 feet 4 to 5 times, and that doesn't even have to be a dead sprint. If you can't do that 4 to 5 times, especially if you're on a sponsored team, then I don't know what to say to you, man. I mean, it's no difference than me doing my little butt play. I'm out thinking you. I'm out playing you. And I tell people, don't hate the game. Don't hate my skill level. Don't hate the athlete. If you're a big dude and all you can do is hit bombers, and you guys are usually the guys that get pissed off at what I can do, because that's what the haters do, man, is because they can't do a certain thing, okay? But, as I'm saying, going back to hustle's a big thing, sense of urgency playing. The next thing I want to show you, last weekend, I mean, boy, you're having a first. If you're not able to, and these things I'm showing you on USSSA Live, I talked to Dale, I talked with USSSA Live last weekend. Or the other weekend when they had the opener conference event in Vegas, I had the opportunity to go, and I was going to start streaming the games that were going to be the condensed games. But being to have this new position and doing all this other stuff, it was very difficult, so I didn't make it. But I'm hoping to possibly get down to one of those Southern California games, conference events, and do the streaming. So Reggie said it's called an intentional drop. Rule, batter is out and runners advance again. Well, see, this is the thing what I've heard about this, Reggie. What I've heard of that play, as long as an intentional drop is when you let it hit your glove. So by rule, from what I've always known, and I've been allowed to do this with conference umpires and etc., is as long as you don't touch the ball, it is not an out. Because you cannot assume the ball is going to hit the ground and jump and bounce. Because I've seen people try to do it on a weird angle, and it skipped and it went away, and both runners were safe, right? So to me, and I will discuss this on Blue in the Face, an intentional drop is letting it go in the glove and out. Because that means I had it in my glove, under control, and intentionally let it go out. But if I do not touch it, you cannot assume it's a catch. You can assume intentional when it's in the glove, but you cannot assume intentional drop when I don't put leather. Anything can occur. But that's the main key with that play. You cannot let the ball touch your glove. So going back to hustle and stuff, back there out there in Florida, what did we have? We had something that hasn't happened in a very long time ago. And unfortunately, it happened to one of our NorCal teams. But something that I'm going to break this down. If you don't know who Mooch is, and I almost want to say Mooch is pushing 50. I think he's 49. Well, I'm still at the top of his game pitching at the major level. And that's why age isn't a factor. If you're a coach, if you're a sponsor, and if you're overlooking players because of their age, then you're not putting yourself in that best position. Last weekend out in Las Vegas, there were tons of guys that are over 50 playing in that 40 major plus event and competing at that level, okay? And sometimes what you're going to get out of a 50 guy is that love and desire and that passion of playing win a little bit more than those new 40 guys. There's times I play, and it's not to try to big league, but I tell guys, I'm over 50 and I'm running harder than you and faster than you, going first to third on you. It should not be like that. You should be out playing the 50-year-olds. You know what I mean? But as I said, if you're a coach, if you're a sponsor, to me, saving money, getting that stability, because a guy who's, once you're over 40, you're kidding yourself if you think you're going to be able to do this and do that with players. Personality, attitude is there. I mean, you may have a guy who played E and D all their life, but they have the passion to work at their game. And as I said, when you go past 40, the availability players are different. Example, if there's 10 of the best shortstops in NorCal are between the ages of 21 and 41. Well, that 41-year-old instantly becomes the best shortstop in NorCal once he's over 40, because the availability of 40-year-old shortstops is 1. So that guy instantly went from that strong D shortstop to that major plus. I mean, there's a lot of good players that played primarily, throughout my years in the 40s playing major plus that were really good D players. JK is a good example. JK, he has the Warrior bat in our bat company. Smooth fielding defensive player, a baller, a diehard, hits well. He primarily played a lot of D-ball and some really good D teams. But once he got to the 40 and over, his stock instantly went to another level. He is still being over 50 years old. He's still one of the top shortstops. Another shortstop I highly recommend you watch is, if you get a chance to watch Jay Zetz's team, All Worlds. I think his name's Ken. Man, I'm sorry with the names right now, but that shortstop from All World is just as good, in my opinion, as JK. JK bats the leadoff, so does that shortstop from All World. Shortstops batting leadoff, tell me, right? But if you get a chance to watch that shortstop, hey, Slovakian, what's his name? Brian. If you get a chance, next time you watch the 50 and over team for All World, Team Gold, All World, watch the shortstop, Brian. Bats usually lead off or 2-hole, makes great plays. He's a hustler. He's a great player. And there's been times I've tried to ask this guy to play. But what I want to do is I want to show you the tape. And anytime you can film a game, learn from your mistakes, dissect the game. If you get a chance, watch your BP. And when you're not cutting the ball well, sometimes we think what's wrong isn't what's wrong. Sometimes it's something else. And that's why when you're able to watch yourself hitting, you're going to get more. So I'm going to show Justin Mucciarelli, and I'm going to show a couple scenes of his, and this perfect game in a conference event, pitching to the A-team Cheap Suits from NorCal. It's a 9-minute game, so check it out. Go check it out. But I'm going to show you a couple things because I love breaking down the game. And what I'm about to show right now, as I said, Cheap Suits, you got, look at all these ladies, man. God bless you.
Castrol Edge is 3 times stronger than the leading full synthetic. Castrol Edge, better oil, maximum performance.
Yeah. All right. So watch these things. In no way I'm trying to be negative or bad, as people say. I just want to show you little things. First off, when it comes to throwing a perfect game, just like in Major League Baseball or even a baseball game, you got to have a lot of elements that go into place. First off, on this perfect game, it went 4 innings because Roofx, which is a new major team, they 20 ran Cheap Suits. So it made it that much easier for Mooch. But it wasn't easy because there was a lot of balls, great plays that occurred. But there was a couple times something happened that might have changed the luck towards this perfect game. So if you young guys are out there and stuff, what I want you to do is pay attention because I'm going to point some little things out, And to me, when it comes to running the bases, I learned in college. I learned to bust out, go 110. And that's a habit of mine. When you're doing that kind of stuff, that's the way you got to do it. So this is what I'm gonna show you right now what I mean, okay? So this is Mucciarelli's perfect game. So the first thing I want to show is a couple of these kind of plays that you got to have that perfect game, okay? So here you go. So watch these plays right here. Here's one. Lefty. Look at the pick right here. Oh, you see that? If you did it, let's do it again. Okay, so look at you need to play like this. Look at the second. Look at the 5-man. Look how he digs that. Ooh. But something, did you see that? I don't know. Here's something I just want to break down, okay? And as I said, when I'm doing this, these are the little things, okay? Baseball, softball is a game of inches. And when you are lazy and you're not going 110 or playing the game right, you are giving that hitter, that runner, that team inches. And when it comes to bang-bang plays, when you're giving inches, then the other team's going to be more victorious. If you and an outfielder decide to dog and they'll get a bad jump and because you're being lazy, you're not paying attention, and the ball goes off your glove, that's what I mean a game of inches. If you would have broke when you're supposed to break, you get those inches, you make that out. But what I want you to do is watch this. When this lefty hit the ball, I don't know if he thought the ball was going to stay up long enough that it was going to be caught, or maybe he thought it was, I don't know what he thought, but he didn't come out hard out of the box. He took a couple steps, and then he sprinted. So check it out right now, okay? Check out the hitter. There it is. Watch him come out of the box. Look at that. Jog, jog, jog. There he goes. So he was literally 4 steps out of it. And then you got another great hitter, Brandon Traylor. Look at this play. Look at second baseman. Boom! Watch that. Once again, look at this play. These are the kind of plays you need for the perfect game. Look at that. Yoo-hoo! And if you've been watching something else that I've been kind of preaching, is hitting's a science and hit the ball where it needs to go. Inside out swings, I don't feel you're going to be that successful unless you're way the heck off the plate where you can dump it. But what I want you to do is watch my man here on Cheap Suits. He gets the inside pitch and he tries to force it backside or do something weird inside out, and all he does is hit a ground ball to the first baseman. Maybe this is what I think he saw here. If you could see there at first base, he's really off the line. And I like that defense right there. See how he's off the line? But look what he does with this pitch. Here's the pitch. It's going to come on the inside part of the plate. He inside outs it. And as I said, easy ground ball. Easy picking. So check it out. So let's do it again. So check that out. Can't do the inside outer. Inside outer. Here it is. Inside pitch. Oh, easy. He was going for that line, and he just didn't get it. I'm telling you, that's what can happen, man. Hitting is a science, okay? And then you got some other great plays right here behind Mooch. So if you want to check this out, it's on YouTube, and I highly recommend you check it out. All right. So here's another great play. These are the other kind of plays you need to have in baseball or softball to get the perfect game. Here it is. Look at the outfielder. Look at that hustle. Boom! Let's see that again. Here it comes. 100% right there on contact. Boom! Dead sprint. Dives. Boom! Take that. That's just a little can of corn. But you know that right there is telling you that's just another thing, man. You got to take inches. You know, I've talked to people, and a lot of times, you know, when I'm discussing, you know, when I play defense, go hard. It's not being negative, not being bad. It's because sell out for your teammates, but you never know what you're capable of doing. When I coach baseball and I discuss people, we do bulldog drills, and I want to teach my guys how to, you know, that sixth gear to go to another level, man. And you never know when you're doing jogging or 50%. So we used to practice these kind of things. And you could tell to me, in a sense, guys who played a lot of college ball or high-level baseball, because that's the expectation, that was the demand. You got to go hard. You got to go hard. If you don't go hard, that's what it is. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see if I can bring on my man, Alamo, if you're there. And let me see here. Yeah. So moving forward, you know, next thing I do want to talk about, and I'll put some music in the background, the elevators, is playing Major Plus, you know, and I had some local people, they're watching the game, and, you know, you got to meet the challenge, okay? And I'm a kind of guy, I wanted to play Johnny Blaze. I wanted to play against Proton. I want to show these guys what I can do. And that's a big thing. And you got to know these guys put the shoes on the same way. And if you're putting in your work and you're confident and you're staying. Ooh, that looks pretty good there. Sorry. If you're doing the little things that you need to do to stay in shape, you're going to compete at that level. Hell, Dennis Ruley, 57 years old. Played some games with Proton, and he probably must have hit about 700. He was playing with the JK, 55 and over, but he was out there as Dan Romero, 57, both of these guys, 56, 57 years old, and they're competing very well and hitting with the best of them. And some people may say, oh, they're too old. Look at the comp. Okay, here's the mathematical, 40, 57, 23, 49. You have a couple 50-year-olds right now playing conference ball. There's a 30-year difference there, and they're competing with these guys. So if you think that you got to go with the youth movement, I mean, look at Resmondo, the best conference team right now, major softball. Good balance, but more than half that squad is over 35. I mean, heck, you got Kevin Bazad is over 40. You got Greg Canals over 40. I think Travis Clark's around 38 or 39. Good mixture of guys. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't throw other names out there. You know, Pearson's probably in his early 30s. You know, you have some guys late 20s, early 30s, but that team right there, average age, I would say about 37, 38. Guys know how to get it done. And you know what? These old guys, like let's say me on a 40 team, you put me on a year-to-year contract. And if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you bring the guy back. Sometimes you think, I'm going to groom a guy for 4 years. You shouldn't be grooming dudes in senior softball, man. Especially for the Major Plus. They either got it, they don't. Example, last weekend, no disrespect, but, you know, Cap being Cap. And if you know who Cap is, Victor Cordova playing with Johnny Blaze. He went up there, he started mastering the high arc, the high knuckle, taking advantage of the game in the championship. In the 2 games they double dip, prevailed. The biggest thing that I like watching with Johnny Blaze that I saw them do more than I did with Proton. And if you're able to go to Facebook and find the game, watch the game. There was times, and I was totally praising, telling people, yes, I love it. Seeing Pilar, who's playing third base with Johnny Blaze, off the line, literally in the 5-6 hole on some of these hitters that you know they want to go right side more times than not. Challenging the line and stuff, and they never went for it. A lot of misplayed balls. A lot of these fielders, closing their holes and stuff. Victor taking over, starting to move guys around, and nobody's getting upset. But people had trust, and they're working together. That's how you beat these teams with that payroll. I mean, you got to think about it. Proton, there's a payroll there. People are getting envelopes. Johnny Blaze, no envelopes. Johnny Blaze beat him. They double dipped them. Plus the game they lost by two. They lost by, I think it was 3 runs with 2 home runs to hit. So literally, if I was Proton, I'd be a little nervous there in that aspect. But going back to my point, Proton, you have more major type conference players. Johnny Blaze, a lot of guys that I played back when I was younger in my days. A lot more of the AB players. Some guys have done pretty well, gone to the AA level or whatever, but literally not really on a major team on a day-to-day basis as you do on some of the Proton players. And I'm not pushing that down, but that's a big thing. It's about understanding, playing together, having chemistry. Proton, they're coming from everywhere. Johnny Blaze, SoCal guys, Ellie did a great job putting all the Johnny Blaze players and the old school true Johnny Blaze players with that same attitude and getting it done. I know when I was up in NorCal at my times playing with Classic Glass, Team Senko, and we're battling Johnny Blaze then in the B division. Tough team, great chemistry. I loved it because there's a bunch of Mexicanos, Chicanos, Latinos, and that's what I liked about Johnny Blaze. There's that closeness, that sense that they all play together, carnales, they got each other's back, they go hard. And I'm not saying other teams don't have that, but there's a sense of know-how, a sense of urgency, like I'm going to play hard for that guy and that guy. And that's what I saw a lot more from the Johnny Blaze team than the Proton team. But the Proton team still guys gelling. But they do have a couple guys that play with racks. But the 40 Major Plus is going to be a strong division that you got to come to play. But if anything, if you're playing Major Plus, no tripping, you got to go and play the game and ignore who you're playing. Play against the ball. The only thing that's going to beat you is the ball. If the situation dictates to plug the middles because the guy has to keep it fair, plug the middles. If you know the bases are loaded and the guy's looking to pull the ball to hit a home run, you shouldn't have your defense on the alt side. Play the situation, play the scenario, and play the game. You do not play the team, just play the game. Play the game against the ball. Focus on the ball. You hit the ball, you catch the ball, you throw the ball. The thing that's going to beat you is the ball. If you're not catching the ball, if you're making errors with the ball, you're going to get beat. If you're not hitting the ball squarely, you're going to get beat. And that's always been my focus when I was younger, playing the super team. When I was playing Bs, going to these major NITs, and you're playing the Dan Smiths, you're playing the Sunnyvale Vols, you're playing remember Black Dog, if you're playing the Harrows, or if you're playing the whatever chiropractic, the Gorilla Constructions, the Elysiums. I could keep going in my day. All these great major A and AA teams. I just ignored it. I went and just balled and just played. And that's what you can do. And sometimes guys, they go to that level, and like I said, you get starstruck. Don't get starstruck. Play the game. But the Major Plus level is going to be really good. But, going back to like guys not thinking about having 50 players on their team, something I do want to say is that, 50s to me, the way I feel, 50's a new 30, man. Because the way I feel when I'm out there running, like last weekend, I took no break. I don't need breaks. I prepare myself because I take pride. And I prepare myself. But to me, if you're keeping yourself in shape and eating a well-balanced and a lot more water, to me, I feel 50 is the new 30 on. And 50 is the new 30 also off the field. And taking your CBD, I feel 30 off the field. But, the 50s now are not like the old days. It's not like Theo Javi or Uncle Ray, man. Big old panza hanging out by the pit who can barely get up and move. There's a lot of great 50s. I mean, if you get a chance to watch some of the 50 Major Plus, you're going to be pretty impressed. And there's a lot of 50 Major Plus that can take some of these 40 Major Plus to the limit. Yeah, 50s is the new 30 for some of us. So congrats to you guys out there. So we got some good surprises coming up. Just to have fun with JBI, not that much. But, realistically right now, I don't have a committed 40 team, but it looks like I have one that I want to commit. And I think you're going to be surprised. And I'm willing to try this kind of thing. And I think it'll be great. And I think the team that we got going has a good chance to do very well in Vegas Worlds in September. But that's a 40 team. And it's going to kind of be a little package. And I think it'll be kind of surprising when you see who we're going to put together. But I think ultimately we can give a good run in the 40. I won't say anything more than that. 50s, I'm still yet to really have a 50 team. I've been playing the 50s, but I guess one of my main choices in the 50s is still kind of up in the air. But I understand it. I think a lot of people in the 40 class and the 50 class, they think I just want to play Major Plus. And ultimately, my heart's Major Plus, but when I give you a commitment, it's a commitment. If I commit to a 50 major team, I'm going to ride you for the rest of the year. I'm not going to leave, okay? Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for stability. I like a team that's fully suited and booted, that comes to the field with pride to compete at the best level. I'm not looking just to play Major Plus. I'm looking to get with a good core of guys, a good group of guys that want to show up and play hard and leave it on the field. And when they're done, that's who I am. I've won my share of tournaments, and I've won my share of Worlds, and I've won my share of Cup tournaments. I've won my share of NITs, so I kind of bring that. And that's kind of a thing like talking about. Sometimes, in the old days, when we were playing ball, our teams usually looked about picking up a player because the team might break up or something in June or July for the run to improve your roster. And sometimes guys say, we don't want to do that. You're going to ruin our team. Well, usually the guys are saying that. They're saying it because it's their buddy that's not getting it done. It's their buddy that's slacking, or they need their buddy to drive. And it's not about saying we want to improve the team. If you're a sponsored team, you should want to improve your team. So something that I say, and someone brought to me, can't bring it on a player, say in May, June, ruin chemistry. No, that's why when you pick up a player, you got to know the player. You got to know who the player is and stuff. You know what I mean? And this is why it's so funny in regards to, like sometimes people think they know the player or who the player is, but they really don't, or they don't take the chance. But what I mean, you got to know the player. Is the player a winner? I mean, people don't just pick up a guy. I mean, first off, is he a floater? When I was younger, you had guys that were every year jumping on team to team or leaving teams a year and stuff. And that's usually because something wasn't working out good for them or right. That might be the kind of guy you want to not look at. But then if you see a team out there or a player that's been on great teams, but now that team is folded or they're just not there anymore, those might be your best players. Like for me, I was sharing with somebody. When I got picked up by Curtis to go play with Front Row out of Texas, I was 49 years old. Their team was a major team. They got bumped to Major Plus. And he had known me, watched me and stuff, but he reached out to me, going to Major Plus, we want to bring you. You got this kind of background, blah, 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 teach these guys, yada, yada, yada. I slid in, I mixed in, made great relationships. We won a lot of tournaments. We won a couple Worlds over there in U-Trip. We had good runs in the senior softball event, both in 40 Major Plus. And I didn't disrupt anything. Because then when you're playing at that level, it's that comprehension. You're picking up the right player. But when you bring a guy who knows how to win, because, watch players that know how to win. It's like I said, when you're watching Vic Cordova, he has that switch. Off the lines, he's smiling, he's cool, what's up? But when he gets in there, he's business. Great guy. But you could see the intensity of wanting to win. He loves winning. And that's leadership. You know what I mean? But sometimes we pick our favorite guy, and that's the nature, I guess. But, I don't think a guy can ruin chemistry unless he's just known to cancer. But what is a cancer? A cancer is somebody who goes against team rules and team philosophies. A cancer could be the guy saying, let's stay at the bar longer. A cancer could be the guy, let's buy another round of beer. That's cancerous. A guy is not cancerous when he has expectations of guys hustling, playing hard, and most importantly, showing up. Because when you make a commitment to it, when you commit yourself You don't commit yourself just to, you commit yourself to each individual player. And when you pull no shows or you don't go to big tournaments and stuff, you are literally letting those guys down. If you're a partially sponsored team and you pull a no show, these guys are putting out money to compete and you're a big vital part of that team and you don't pull out. See, that's what I don't understand, but sometimes people will call that out. But that's how you make your team better. Sometimes going to the next level is just carrying that eternal, viruses that turn into cancers. You know what I mean? Because internally, you may not know it, but you're supposed to have BP at 8:30, but he's that guy who wants to show up at 8:45, 8:50. He's that guy who doesn't want to shag. He's that guy who doesn't want to hustle. He's that guy who's not going to be picked. Those are the things, winning attributes. The guy bringing the boombox to the dugout isn't the great guy to have, especially if you're looking to be that team. Go watch the Worlds. Go watch the big events. Go watch the best teams. They don't got the boombox. They're all standing there and they're in the box with that player. They're congratulating. There's just a different demeanor. It's a comprehension. You know what I mean? Sometimes getting that guy who's played higher than you, who's won a lot more, can take your game to another level because it's not just about that talent. It's about understanding the game and evolving. You know what I mean? If you're playing, what is it called? Texas Hold'em. If you don't know how to play the games, that saying, if you can't find out who the sucker is at the table, then that means you're the sucker. While in softball, if you're the hey guy and this and let things go, don't call the rules out, then you are that guy. Or even watching that play that we just saw on YouTube where they let the ball drop. People might not want to do that because of why? Oh, it's against the rules of the game. I'm here to win a ball game, man. Hustle and play the game right, respect the game. And if you can't do that, that's your fault, right? Right. Oh, man. So much. So, I guess, well, if you have not had the opportunity, I'm hoping you can go to my YouTube channel, and there it is. Thank you. 263. I got a couple more. That many views, and there's a lot of good and informative type videos. And the reason I do this is to help improve you. And I've had people talk to me from Las Vegas, message me and stuff, and I always say I should share them. Is I'm giving good information to improve your game. A lot of times we go hit BP and we don't got a purpose. And lately on my YouTube channel, I've been putting BP games to help improve your on base percentage, and things you got to think about. Okay, obviously you need some talent, you need some athleticism, but like golf, if you put enough work, if even you're a AAA player, you may not have the best power or something, but if you understand the science of hitting and how to direct balls, you're going to be competitive, whether you're a AAA hitter with 250-foot pop or a guy with 400-foot pop that have no bat control, okay? But things you got to look at. If you're not consistent, the first thing and foremost thing I always say, if you're not consistent, do you take BP? And if you take BP, do you consistently take BP? And if you take BP, do you have an approach? Or do you just go out there and think just hitting the ball is going to help your game? To me, BP has always been pitch identification and knowing where to go. And that's where you start perfecting that scene, which I do have on that one of my videos, which I want to show you. So remember that BP approach. What are you doing? If you're not consistent, and to me, if you're hitting, to me, people say 700, but hitting 650 in softball is still tough. That means you're getting on base 6.5 times. So there's going to be times you're going to be getting on a 4-for-4, but you're going to have a 2-for-4. Okay, is your BP approach there? If you're not hitting 650 consistent. Okay, next thing, pitch selection. Okay, last weekend I had a good weekend. In the Major Plus division, I hit 750. But within those 18 hits, I want to say I had about 5 walks, maybe 6. Okay. And some people say I want to swing the bat. You know what I say? I want to win, and then I want to get on base for my team. And then I want to hit. So you notice the 3 tiers there? The 3 tiers. Okay. I want to get on base. After I get on base, I want to get on base for my team. Those, the 3 tiers. I forgot the 3 tiers. Oh yeah, I'll get on base, get a hit, for my team. I can't remember one of the other ones. But that's what you got to think. Are you hitting strikes? And I've shown it, man. Forcing balls and stuff on some of my videos, you got to see them. Actually, I'm going to show you one, okay? Hitting strikes. If you're hitting balls and just want to swing and being selfish, you're not going to be consistent at some, okay? Another thing, this can go in 3 or 4 is the weight of your bat. Are you missing balls? Are you end capping balls? Just recently, I told someone, Sammy B, swinging a 25 and a half. I go to the 26 and a half. Since he's been swinging the now 26 and a half, which I got one right here, because he was swinging the 25 and a half. And I go, Sammy, go to the 26 and a half. And he's been just murdering it. So sometimes if you're not being consistent with the stick and stuff, and the only way you're going to find that stuff out is what you got to do is you got to try it out in BP with different weights and stuff. I mean, I've never been a guy in a tournament go 27, 26, 26, 27. I got tired. No. If you're putting in the work and getting in the stamina and the conditioning, then you're not going to need to, I feel have to go up and down because it's all muscle memory. It's all smoothness, and if you're used to whatever size you are and finding that right bat opposed to having 50 different ones, that's the thing. But it's the weight of the bat, the same thing. And another thing, very foremost, is in a game. I told somebody, and somebody pulled it on me. I go, you could probably get me out more times than not is you break my concentration. I'm a pretty intense guy. And what I mean about being that kind of intense guy is, when I play, sometimes when I play, I'm not the most social guy. I talk, I make a couple comments, and I'm done. And I notice a lot of great players are the same way. Not all of them, but a majority of those great hitters, those great players, they're not yapping the whole game to other teammates and other teams and or talking to people in the crowds. Their whole focusness is on the game. And that is something you got to work on, keeping that focus in the games. Because when you're grab-assing doing this, your mind isn't on task to perform what you need to perform or the task that needs to perform. Right, Johnny Dykes? I mean, that's something you look at the great players, the great hitters. They're focused. They're in tune. They know what they're doing. Other guys, are you one of those guys that are laughing? I need the boom box. I need to do this. Or if you're slumping, are you just going to swing hard, which is what I call desperation swing, But those are 4 things. Are you focused going to the ditch? Are you taking a deep breath through the nose to ease the tension amongst the bones? All these little things, those tiered things, are what make you hitters a great hitter. So real quick, I want to show you, just recently I put this one on, and if you get a chance, please take the time to go check it out.
When I hit BP,
So I want to show you this, what I was talking about.
You can expect to find endless entertainment, but more comfort.
Well, if you haven't subscribed or liked my stuff, I appreciate it. But if anything, please go subscribe, okay? But what I'm going to show you is about forcing the ball. You don't want to force the ball. I show this with teamwork, and I'm going to show you during this BP session right here, okay? So let me see if I can find it here.
Get your mind clear and just react. That's why.
Well, here's one. You can see a little bit of it right here. Check it out.
Take deep breaths through the nose.
It's on YouTube channel.
Tension. Get your mind clear and just react. That's why I take this kind of BP. And I love those days when they say you don't miss the ball because I'm going with the scientific thing. All right.
Yeah, I don't miss the ball. I try not to. So watch these swings here.
88 miles per hour.
Good hit too.
So this is on YouTube.
Field, 330 down the line, 380 to center.
84 miles per hour.
That was a little high, but you can see I'm hitting it where it needs to go. So this is a BP game. I tell people, don't focus on one side. Just hit the ball where it's pitched.
83 miles per hour.
What's up, Deuce? So what I'm trying to do is find where I kind of...
And this is why, like, on defensive sides, I could have 3 guys over here, this guy cheating, 2 guys over here. Mm-hmm. But when you're hitting BP, you're getting confidence. You can put 6 guys there, and I still feel confident that I can get a hit in that rather than force it out.
So what I'm saying there is, if you're putting in the work, if you could see, I'll have 3 cones. But I said, I don't care if you have 6 guys over there. I'm zoned up that each ball that I'm going to swing at, I have 2 outlets. And that's what I'm discussing there. I'm not going to change my swing because everybody's, I'm going to focus on getting those good swings. But I think it's right here. I kind of show you what I was discussing, which is you got to see. It's a science.
All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Hit it with speed.
Look at that.
79 miles per
All
hour.
right.
Another drill, and this drill is more for the advanced mind, because when your mind is in control of your body. I don't even know about that one. Well, that one's a pretty hard one to do.
Miles
See, that
per
one's
hour.
up and deep, but look at the ball. So check that one out. It's right there. If you haven't seen, another good thing that I do want to say is, I'm not sure if I showed it, but hitting out there with Jeff Hall was great.
Oh, you turn it on now when I get off. What the hell's that all about?
Paul Sandler. I'll just show you a couple swings out here with the new little Mexican.
That's unbelievable. Honestly, bro, that's
It's also on YouTube.
I love it. That one was good too on the line. Over the net.
Oh, yeah, one hop defense. So there's that one right there. Another good one to see is how about watching Sammy B swing the Sammy B. That's good equipment. In the wind, that's good equipment. Hey, that's my man, Sammy B. Give me some. How about JK? Here's the new the Warrior bat. Ooh, look at that, slice it in there. That's another little legend right there. Got the CEO hitting some bombs with the Chronic. Ooh, let's go, J Proc. Some good stuff here. Ooh. The CEO says, take that. Good stuff. What's up, Jeff? Boom. Get it out of here. Oh, boy, that's swinging the Chronic there. Other good stuff here. Great chat with Mikey Rodriguez. California bat swinging the new little Mexican. This is some more practice games and etc. Swinging the Chronic. This is a really good one. I have over 4,000 views. A lot of people really like that one right there. So once again, you know, if you get an opportunity, please go to my Facebook page, subscribe, like, do all the cool things that them cool kids are doing, and help out a mofo. Next week, we'll be out playing a little softball out in Pleasanton, which I'm really looking forward to doing that. I hope your Friday night and your weekend goes well. We're going to have a good BP session, California Bat Boys, this Sunday. You know, and if you're interested, maybe give me a little jingle, and I could tell you that secret area that we're going to be swinging. But before we go then, there's a song I do want to play to let us go out on our own. And I'm just in the mood to play this song. So you're just going to get it. You know what I mean? Where is it? Okay. So we're going to close it out and play a good jam here. Have a good one. That's old punks. We never die. We just get lower back paid. Don't have the right. Oh, a little too much rocking out. Enjoy your Friday.